Comics Plus, what is going on? My name is Akasan.
What's up, Super Crew? Good to see you again.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. It is happening. It is finally happening. After so long.
Yeah.
Mandalorian Season 3. Oh my god.
Because now it's 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair.
Understandable, but
to be fair, we have The Mandalorian Season 2.5 right in the middle of the Book of Boba. But, yeah. And Jon Favreau actually has come out because, a few people, I thought I was the only one, but I guess I was not. Wasn't really a big fan of how it feels like we're going back to square one again, with just Grogu being back with Din Djarin. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the Book of Boba, it's probably important because when last on the actual Mandalorian show, they were separated. Yes. Now they're back together. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, Grogu was like, nah, I'm good, Luke. Peace. It seemed like it was pretty rushed, and it was, I believe. But Jon Favreau has actually come out, and he's actually said that it's been 2 years since the time between Season 2 and Season 3. So the span of Book of Boba and all of that we saw.
2 years has passed.
That has been 2 years since.
So basically, he basically just made it real time because it's been 2 years since that happened. Yeah. So why not make it? Okay, that's cool.
So that's good, I guess. But I'd say that's a little weird. Then it took Boba Fett 2 years or so to deal with that. I mean, I can accept the fact that Grogu's been training.
Yeah.
With Luke for roughly about 2 years, but the idea that it took Boba, based on what we saw in the show, that all took a span of 2 years or so. I'm like, I don't know about all that. But I digress. It's a little messy, but I think it's a little bit more damage control, if anything.
Yeah.
But it's good to have the show back. I personally would have liked Grogu to have stayed away for quite some time because I actually wanted to see. Between the two bounty hunters that we have, I would have liked to have seen some bounty hunting more than just 1 or 2 episodes each time. So the only time we actually saw some bounty hunting was the first episode of The Mandalorian, and then the Book of Boba Fett, that in between point. That's it.
And the when he goes into the slaughterhouse.
Right, the Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, well, that kind of sucks. But, oh well,
I want to say there's one more in between that, but no.
There was the heist.
Ah, that's right. That's right.
There was the heist, and that was about it. So it's kind of like, yeah. But, it's okay. I know that there's also this entire lore, Dave Filoni's lore of Mandalore, the Clone Wars, dealing with all that.
Putting them together, but trying not to put them together too quickly.
Yeah, he's a... Dave Filoni's a little bit of a hit and miss for me sometimes. Sometimes when he really hits it well, it's perfect. But there's other times, like The Bad Batch, where I'm just like, okay, yeah, I guess. So we'll see. We will see. I don't know if this is going to just be another Obi-Wan situation of just kind of throwing in fan service each episode.
Nah.
I don't know.
It's The Mandalorian. I'll say this: out of all the shows, especially Star Wars related, Mandalorian has been really good at not just throwing service.
I agree.
At least for me. Now, did I enjoy the little bits of fan service that happened in the Obi-Wan show? Of course. Because I got to see Vader and Vader doing something else other than walking down the hall and swinging a lightsaber at a few people. But, although that did happen. But when it comes to this show, I actually liked that they got back together before this season. For one reason alone, Din Djarin trying to complete the journey of finding himself, which is what Grogu's doing also. So the two of them being together before they make that split, I think is good because it should show growth, because part of me is thinking that they're not going to see eye to eye on some things. Also, Grogu, so for people who are like, oh, well, Jedi don't do this, Jedi don't do that. And it's like, well, Grogu is like force choking people. When looking at it, he was. And so it's like, force choking, people try to say that it's usually left for the dark side of the force. But remember, he's a kid. He's still learning. So if anything, and he's super powerful, if anything, he's trying to figure things out. But I like that He doesn't just know. So if it is a matter of him potentially having dark side tendencies, that's kind of interesting. How do you deal with that? Din Djarin's like, I don't have knowledge in doing this. I can't deal with this. Luke, I need your help. You have to take him, kind of thing. So it'll be more bittersweet that time.
All right, well.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm just excited either way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, and Bo-Katan.
And Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan.
We'll see what happens. Guys, full reaction available on Patreon. You know what the deal is.
Yep.
Daylight savings time, so I forgot with the Disney Plus shows. It's going to be...
An hour later.
Yeah, for us, it's a little hour later, so it's already 5 o'clock here, but...
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
We'll adjust.
We shall adjust. This is the way. Anyways, full reaction of your latest reaction to The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1.
Starts now.
Yeah.
Think she's making a helmet for Grogu?
Maybe. Oh, never mind. Initiation.
For foundling.
That might be Din Djarin, actually. Yeah.
What he started off with.
Yeah. Whoa! Oh, shit.
3?
Wow.
And acts just like a giant alligator. Yeah.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
Oh, so no.
Right, that's not Din.
This isn't the past.
This is the present.
Ew.
Shit.
You said big line of intestines just went flying? That was nasty.
What's up? What's up, bitches? You know, that person you said that's not a Mandalorian anymore just saved your Mandalorian ass.
Right?
You are no longer Mandalorian.
He's like, really?
The decree of exile will be lifted and I would be redeemed.
This is the way.
That's her way of saying good luck.
Yeah.
It's the Force.
It's the space whales?
Dope. Okay.
So you trying to tell me we're about to run into Ezra? This is the new Galaxy's Edge.
There you go. That's cool.
Yeah, and it's on a Stormtrooper
Yeah, that's cool.
helmet too.
Okay, man. Look at that. He got it.
Got a droid carrying his cape.
Heard you were back.
Grogu.
Come again?
His name is Grogu.
If you say so. Come, I want to.
He's just like, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't stick with anybody.
Now, as I was saying, there's a beauty.
Ah!
That's what I thought.
I need a droid I can trust to help me explore Mandalore. And he's that droid.
So now it looks like a droid from the Clone Wars. I'm sorry.
Roger, Roger. Roger, Roger. Not in the face.
It's Terminator 2. I'm sorry.
Dude,
like,
how
I
are
am.
you missing something?
There it is.
Now that's using your head.
You got jokes.
He's a dad now. Come on. Oh, plick.
Oh, wow. There you go. Connecting it all.
Wow.
Full circle here. I don't know. I think this is almost pseudo-racist stuff. Like, it kind of reminds me of the, remember
Makes
Giz?
me think of Gremlins.
Yeah. He looks like the owner of the Mogwai.
Oh, dude, that's messed up. Really?
Come
Come on, Ben. Damn.
That's cool.
I'm loving
man.
this.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, shit. He's
Now he's hunting you.
Batman. Oh, wow.
I'm loving this.
Stop where you are, Mandalorian.
Wow.
You're outgunned.
Swamp Thing?
I have no... And I will find out if the planet is really poisoned.
Goodbye, Din Djarin.
Ominous.
Because I guess he'll stop being that version of himself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish they, depending on the next episode, I kind of wish they just put it all together.
Yeah.
Like, so there you have it, folks. That's the latest episode, the beginning of The Mandalorian Season 3. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I think one big problem, I mean, for us, it's fine, but it's a little weird. Like, I feel like the continuity is a little off. Like, and that was
Also,
just in general. Like, we watched the Book of Boba, right? But even in the previously on, they didn't explain at all. Like, they didn't show Luke at all. They didn't show Grogu coming back and them reuniting. They showed none of that. So I just thought it was kind of interesting.
oh, so it's like if you hadn't seen the Book of Boba, you wouldn't know, kind of thing.
I think that's a little weird. Like the best explanation that they gave was like, look, you know, he was like, it's complicated, you know, and he just like kind of explained it really quickly. But I mean, it's not a big deal, I think, for us, but I do think that for some people that could have been, at least in the previously on, or something, they should have showed some of those clips, like, okay. Because, you know, Luke was a big deal in that ending.
He was, but I think that's also the reason why they didn't do it. Because it would draw attention away from Grogu and Din and lead more into Luke.
Just an explanation, that's all. That's all. It's because I thought that was a kind of big step on Grogu's part. Was like, oh, like, yeah.
Grogu learning something and coming
he had
back.
to make that choice. You know? He had to make that choice. So I just thought that was kind of weird the way they did that. And then particularly as well, Din deciding to fly off away from the pirates. I mean, I know he couldn't take on a whole pirate ship. But kind of leave that and then be like, yeah, well, I'm just going to keep going on my mission. I'm like, dude, okay, so obviously those pirates are going to come back down the line.
Yeah, well, they kind of had to because it's like looking at Vane, who was left over, leaving him, of course you don't want to just go and kill everybody, but leaving him there like that, it's like, okay, he'll give a warning to everybody else so they'll not come back.
Right.
He's been embarrassed. So the first thing he's going to do is come back with more people, if not his boss. That's the first thing. Then it's like, okay, they catch up to Mando, which means they're tracking the planet and who's coming and going. So that means they're already watching and planning to go down there and cause trouble. Because if Mando can leave there and they show up immediately, they're watching. So now, that's two problems. Mando's going from them, going about his business, because he's like, well, they can't follow me, whatever. Just go on and do whatever I want to. But now, on his way back, he's going to be dealing with, I could have stayed and helped out because something's going to get destroyed.
Because that seems kind of like...
It's foreshadowed.
Yeah. But
or it feels like it is.
Yeah, it feels almost a little obvious, though, with that. You know, I know at the end of the day, it's Star Wars, so it's not supposed to be that complex. But I also feel like they shouldn't really write it as obvious as that. It's like, okay, so here's a huge threat, but you just left to go deal with what you're originally trying to do, which is fair enough. But I'm like, well, it's obvious. You got this big looming ship. They're going to be dealing with, what is it called? Navarro, invading Navarro.
Navarro being invaded.
So,
well, I think they did that because it's like, look, while Din's over here doing that, they're going to invade, and in the middle of being invaded, they're going to build a droid to help Griff Karga, and then Din will show up.
So Din's
So Din wanted the droid, so when they go to the planet, if it really is poison, maybe the air isn't breathable in certain areas. So having the droid go down and check would make sense.
That makes sense.
So then he doesn't have to worry about, taking a risk, not just himself, but also his son.
That makes
so
sense.
then having the droid go and one that he trusts, it's like, outside of logic, you'll go down there and say, okay, this is possible, this isn't possible. Having any droid is like he's back to, I don't trust you, I don't know you.
So he leaves, he bounces... skips to do from the pirates, and then he meets up with Bo-Katan, and I'm just like, okay. He's like, all right, I want to join you. I'm like,
but that makes sense.
To Mandalore, right?
Yeah, but that kind of makes sense.
Together, right?
I look at it.
He needs like a squad
for two things. One, partially to go to Mandalore, but also do like she did to him. I want to help you, but I need your help, and need your help would be to back him up on Navarro.
Got it.
Because he needs the man. Because I could see him being like, look, this has happened, and I need to be a part of something, because he feels severed from the group that he grew up with. And there's like, whoa, you're no longer this, da-da-da. And Bo-Katan is like, well, your group was just, a cult, da-da-da. But basically what she did during Clone Wars is the same thing, which is part of the reason why there is this big civil war. Because she went against everything. and because she was power hungry.
Was she part of Death Watch? Did she start the
Yep.
original?
Why do you think she's in that blue?
Yeah. Start the original
Yep.
Death Watch?
Yep. She's in it.
Right.
Or
But
she
now
was.
She's calling herself the Night Owls, right?
Yeah, because that's basically what
right.
ends up happening. So it's like,
Right.
look, she realized it wasn't the right way.
Right.
Because
yet
she felt
was starting
she
out.
felt her sister and other people were too
Right.
much of a pacifist. So it's like, look, you got to stand up for yourself. Everything is lost. You got to be recovered. So him going to her to be like, hey, I want to join you. It's basically him trying to say, I want to redeem myself, but also be a bridge between what he grew up with and what's going on, because there aren't so many left over. Maybe they can overlook that and grow.
Paz Vizsla is related
Paz
to
Vizsla?
Paz Vizsla is related to Pre Vizsla, the one that had
Yeah,
the
he
dark
is. He's
saber.
descended from.
Oh, so yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. He did say that.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why he's like
Book
his
of Boba
forefathers.
really
It's
quickly.
like,
Right.
but that doesn't mean you're worthy.
right.
He wasn't. He wasn't worthy.
True that.
He's a big dude, because when you see the two fighting, he's literally twice Din Djarin
Yep.
size. I'm like, that's cool and all, but I'm like, you're not worthy. You're another power hungry character. Don't get me wrong, I like the character, but he's just power hungry, like his ancestor, and that's why his ancestor didn't make it.
Ironically, both played by Jon Favreau, so that's really cool.
So.
I like that. Too short. I wish there was a little bit.
Yeah,
I
38
get it,
minutes.
yeah.
38 minutes was enough, because when I look at it realistically, including credits and preview, I'd say 35.
I wish they built it up, but also if it's in terms of like, if they were just gonna drag things out even more, then it's fine. Maybe the next episode where you're gonna see Din actually recruiting the Night Owls and all the stragglers and everything on Mandalore.
I think he'll go to Mandalore, or actually no, because he's looking for a part. That's right.
Right.
He's got to go get
Before
the
he
part,
does that, yeah.
and then on his way back, we'll come across, if not Bo-Katan, someone within Mandalore to help him go down there, because he's got to find a way to navigate the waters, if they still exist.
What if, I think you were kind of mentioning it, but what if they end up using was it not BB-8?
C-3PO?
No, Cal's droid.
Well, Cal's droid is with the mechanic. I mean, they kind of could, but it'd be really difficult. It doesn't have much body to grab onto things.
Is that actually legit Cal's droid, or just a? Oh, really?
That's his droid. Because if you look at it, even in the game, the eye things, there's like a lot of the leftover droids
Right.
are there. So the droids from episode 1 and 2, the mechanics, pod racing, they're there. The engine parts, stuff like that, came from pod races, so on and so forth. Cal's droid is there. The droid that got fried, was it DB? DN? I forget.
I think you're right. I think it was DB.
Was it R5, the one that gets fried by R2D2?
Right.
She's cleaned him up, and he's there.
Okay.
And then there's another one. Gonk is in it too.
Who's Gonk?
So if you're watching Bad Batch, Gonk is basically a large power battery. He goes just Gonk. Well, she used Gonk. They used Gonk to help charge up one of the ships and
Has Chop
things like
made
that.
an appearance yet?
I'm waiting for it.
Right.
I'm waiting for
From
it because it seems like all the little side characters, droid-wise or creature-wise, are making appearances. Droid-wise, they're almost always in the series.
Who was
somewhere.
Ahsoka's droid? Did she ever have one?
No.
I feel like she was talking to one all the time.
Talking to one, but she wasn't.
Maybe
But it
R2.
wasn't hers. It was R2 because R2 was there at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
R2's gotten around. What a slutty droid.
R2 is OG because he's been with.
R2's seen everything, man.
He's been with Anakin. He's been with Luke.
Yep. R2
and
needs
after.
some counseling now, man. Like he's seen every.
Well, yeah,
he knows
he's the only.
everything. Yeah.
He's the only astromech that's been within the main sagas that has been through several battles, been shot at, all kinds of stuff, and survived. But also, OG, he helped destroy. He has the highest kill count of droids.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Wow.
Death Star. Over
Makes
what was it?
sense.
A million?
Makes sense.
A million plus people? Yeah.
These murderers. All right.
Yeah, right?
Well, yeah. All right. Well, let's see what happens with the next episode, y'all.
Yeah.
I thought it was overall. I thought it was good. A little short, but
Definitely short.
It was
solid. It was a solid opening.
Good to come. Definitely miles better than The Book of Boba though, so I'll give
all episodes, or the opening. You mean the first episode, the first episode of Book of Boba, or just in general?
No, it just looks like there's the Book of Boba always to me looked like it was like a
low budget.
Yeah, no, it was just like a side project that they decided to make for fun or something. Even though it's like,
damn, he called Book of Boba a fan film.
Basically, you know, they were like, yo, we're just gonna stay on Naboo the whole time. Like, let's just film desert and more desert type of deal. Like, which is fine, but it was kind of like, man, I hope that didn't delay season 3 of The Mandalorian for that. Like, no.
Do you think before we say goodbye to the fans, do you think he will show up?
Book of Boba?
Yeah. Do you think
Boba
Fett, Finnick, or the Marshal?
No.
Cobb. No, Cobb.
Oh, Cobb Bane?
Yeah.
Well,
not Cad Bane. Cobb. He's the one that got shot. Do you think one of those three may show up here?
I hope not. Yeah, I'm good.
I wouldn't mind if the original Marshal who had Boba Fett's armor shows up to be the Marshal and stay there, kind of thing. That's fine, especially if they're not going to do anything with like a season 2 of Book of Boba.
Thundercat's going to come in and fix his ass up.
Well, they already showed that he was in the back of the tank getting fixed. So I mean that's kind of cool. And he's in a neighboring town.
I personally, I think one of the things I like about The Mandalorian is like I really want them to just
focus more on him.
I just want them to hone on the whole samurai aspect, because it's the part I like about Star Wars the most, is the Sith and the Jedi. And since we don't really have that much and they're not going to focus on that, I like the creed and the codes that the Death Watch, the Night Owls, all these sort of lores that they all kind of adhere by. I like that situation. We were having technical problems in the beginning, but that was amazing in the beginning.
Definitely gonna rewatch that, because
initiation situation.
Couldn't hear half of what was being said, and that thing came. It jumped out, and I was like, "Wait, what happened?"
That initiation was
pretty cool.
Great. The situation that the armorer has to deal with as well, because I believe. Yeah,
because she's like the de facto leader and trying to
rebuild. Drop the opportunities or missed opportunities. That whole thing with the Book of Boba, with I called her Junkyard Kylo Ren, the one who was helped design what Boba now uses, that weapon and everything. She just disappeared.
Yeah, well, yeah, because she's one of the officers under Thawne.
What?
Thawne. So, end of Rebels, Thawne and Ezra fly away into wherever at hyperspeed with space wells, with the entire area cockpit glass wide open. That's why people are like, did they just die? Because it's like, or were they protected from hyperspace? It's kind of weird. Anyways, but Thawne is the character that Ahsoka is looking for. Right. So I think they may not have him here. They may like mention him, but he's going to be more of the big bad or focus for the Ahsoka show, yeah. which would make more sense.
Totally I like the fact
that please don't have him here. It may be overkill.
I really like the idea of that. I just want them to really focus on Mandalorian. I know that Navarro will come up again, but honestly,
and prove to me that Mace survived.
Honestly speaking, just keep it focused on Mandalore. Let's deal with that. I'm sure Grogu's going to need his own sort of
armor or something.
No, just growth and character development even more, especially since if you didn't watch the Book of Boba, you have no idea what happened.
And if you didn't watch the Book of Boba, you wouldn't know what he's wearing underneath his coat, which they show. That's basically like chainmail made out of Beskar, because armor would be too heavy for him to move around, but also filming wise, it's not practical.
And force wise, he's gotten better too. And I like the fact that again, it's just, I feel like it was so messy that they did it, but whatever. One of the reasons Grogu is that in tune with the space wells and everything is because those...
He's strong with the Force.
Maybe they'll explain it later, but I feel like that's kind of just fan bait to Easter eggs for the hardcore fans, that those wells are very, very much in tune with the Force, and
that's why they're able to travel like that.
Hyperspace, and that's one of the reasons Grogu could fill them out. So,
but also Grogu is showing to be very similar to Ezra, where he had connections with animals and living beings, because each animal that he's come across, he's been able to kind of communicate with them, stop them, or put them to sleep, including a Rancor.
All right. I think that's it for now. Let's get. We'll get to the editing, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys think.
Definitely.
I hope it.
Because I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope it will do well. Star Wars is sometimes a hit or miss on the channel, but
I'm not worried about the Mandalorian.
I'm down with the Mandalorian as always.
Because this is the way.
This is the way. Full reaction on Patreon. I hope you guys appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys next week for the next episode of The Mandalorian. Peace, y'all.